So I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with the situation, but basically H3, aka Ethan, and also SNEAKO, two very popular YouTubers, have been beefing a lot recently. And there's also Hasanabi, who's joining H3 on his podcast, who is beefing a lot with Andrew Tate on Aiden Ross's Twitch streams. Now they're both reacting here to SNEAKO's latest comments on H3. It should be an interesting podcast clip to go over, and I'm excited to have you guys here watching with me. So without further ado, let's get into it.
But like SNEAKO, for example, you know this kid, he started out as like a really critical lib fan of Bernie Sanders.
Bro, when he was 13 years old, he had Call of Duty videos that we found where he was literally talking about like anti-interventionist strategies in Syria.
What happened to him? Did he lose brain cells?
I'm not even kidding, dude. Yeah.
I saw those, but like
they
now
actually
he
censored it.
just
Cool.
seems way dumber, less sharp.
I think in a way he is very smart because I think
H3 trying
I
to
usually
clown
believe that
MAGA
a lot of
fans, I
content
guess.
creators know.
Yo, by the way, Hasanabi, like, I gotta be honest, like, I'm not the biggest fan of this guy, but I misjudged him at first. When I saw him on the Aiden Ross Twitch streams, like, I thought he was just like some big dude who just played video games all day and then talked smack about people offline. But he actually is a pretty big looking, like, he's a big dude, but he's actually fit. Like, I can tell he actually goes to the gym. I've seen like different, clips of him, and I didn't know he was like big like that. Like, he's actually out here grinding and stuff too. So respect to him. If I don't agree with all his views, that's fine, but I respect someone who works hard.
Exactly what they're doing when they portray themselves as like really stupid.
And actually, SNEAKO's like girlfriend, not his girlfriend, but the girl he wants to be his girlfriend, Brett Cooper, actually apparently said that Hasanabi looks good, and that pissed SNEAKO off. So funny there.
Or really bigoted. I think they know. They're well aware of what they're doing. I think he's just like signaling to a broader audience, and he saw Andrew Tate's like skyrocket rise to fame. He probably had some personal motivations as well. He has talked about getting cucked, and how that was like a defining moment for him. I think that probably played a role in his life, where he like watched his girlfriend get bukkakied by 4 dudes at an orgy.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, he like no, I'm not making it up. Oh, you guys didn't know about this?
That's tough.
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. I thought the H3 Productions crew knew about all this.
I'm not deep into SNEAKO lore.
None of us know much about SNEAKO at all.
I didn't either. And then my hive mind.
So that broke it.
Right.
Found
Wait,
all this stuff.
Yeah.
was he a participant in the bukkake or?
No, he wasn't.
Oof.
From what I understand, he went to like multiple orgies. I think he was like in an open relationship, experimented. He seemed like he could have gone either way after that. He could have been like very confident about it, but he instead went like the manosphere red pill route. So I think there was like personal motivators as well that kind of played a role in his like radicalization, his short radicalization.
Wait,
Hasanabi, honestly, he's like almost the opposite of Tate for me. I mean, he doesn't really throw any extreme ideas out there. He just obviously has like the opposite mindset of Tate, but he's also very well spoken too, and he obviously goes to the gym now as well.
tell me more about the bukkake. You glossed over that.
So like I can, if you saw him talking to Andrew Tate on Aiden Ross's streams, he actually was kind of getting inside of Andrew Tate's head a little bit. Like they both were kind of canceling each other out. Obviously, he was getting triggered as well, but he was one man that I saw could actually kind of go toe to toe with Andrew Tate and talk to him like kind of in the same tonality and everything as well.
Outside the Patrick CC,
very interesting to see.
Who, even though he said I played a role in SNEAKO's radicalization, and I disagree with him on that.
Yeah, come on, it's got to be a bukkake or something.
I mean, man, if
No,
you're always
but-
making videos about him,
I didn't really know much about
have.
SNEAKO other than like watching some of his.
Definitely
like,
probably
1-minute
helped him get a lot
podcasts
more
or whatever,
popular.
like his like OG interviewing random people on the street.
Like some of these guys who always talk, criticize other people, and that's like their whole point of their channel is just making videos criticizing other people they don't agree with. A lot of them don't really take into account or try not to realize that they are helping those people get a lot more popular, and they are spreading their message.
Shit that he was doing. And I always thought that there was like some sussy stuff there. Like he seemed like a big like free speech defends hate speech kind of guy. He basically was never this aggressively like right-wing manosphere pilled. You know what I mean? He was never this like red pilled, I guess, until Andrew Tate started popping off. And I think he saw that. He saw the success of Andrew Tate, and he was like, "Oh, I could do this. This is easy as fuck."
Yeah, for sure.
And he probably.
I mean, I didn't watch SNEAKO's streams before Andrew Tate became super popular, but I did watch some of his videos before then, and by the looks of it, it looks like he became a lot more I don't know how to say it, just more enthusiastic about what he thinks since Andrew Tate started to take off, and seemed to share a lot of, I know he shared a lot of the same ideas as Andrew Tate before then, but he definitely presents them a lot more now too.
He also personally had some motivations as well. Like he personally believes some
But
of that
no,
shit
stop.
anyway.
Tell me about the bukkake. So they went to an orgy. Do you know for sure like a bunch of dudes finished on her face like that?
He literally talked about it. He openly like
Who's making
this
those
is
noises?
information.
Can you
that,
find that
This is
link?
information
It's
that you
freaking
couldn't
annoying,
extract
man.
out of
Stop
me
doing
in
that.
a black site. Okay, like the CIA could black
Snorting
bag me,
into
put
the
me in a fucking
microphone.
airplane, fly me out to Egypt, and I would not tell anyone a soul.
Well,
okay?
it's part of his manosphere story. It's part of his journey.
But yeah, he just
Wait,
like,
oh yeah. So this is interesting. I was watching. Someone made a video about him.
By the way, honestly, like just H3 criticizing SNEAKO is, I mean, maybe I'm in the wrong here, but like H3 is like 40 years old and SNEAKO is like 23. Like we're talking about someone who's like 20 years younger than you, man, like almost half your age, and you're on the internet just criticizing this kid every single day. Just seems a little bit immature.
And then I saw
Even if you know he is being
him wearing an
controversial and
H3
has
shirt. That's
an
it.
things
L3
that
shirt.
you don't agree
Yeah.
with.
And then I saw he made this video about me. The thumbnail's so good. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, I think SNEAKO mentioned in his streams before that he was a big fan of H3. A lot of people were, but apparently, like, H3 just stopped making, you know, the fun videos or funny videos he used to make in the past because apparently they were, like, controversial to a lot of people. And now he just does, like, basically podcasts. And a lot of people obviously still tune into his podcast, but a lot of his fan base that he had before kind of feel sad with where he's gone because he just seems a lot less enthusiastic, and now all he kind of does in his podcast is criticize other people.
Pull up the thumbnail.
Kind of negative.
But it's called SNEAKO reacts to H3 before he sold his soul. And then
Funny
here,
title,
just
man.
listen to what he says here, because we're talking about the capacity for
That's
people
tough,
to
bro.
change.
They like put extra
Is this the
purple
timestamp,
underneath
baby?
his eyes.
Because I can't see. You said it's at
This is
30
actually
seconds.
interesting. I think I saw part of this
timestamp.
clip from
Is
SNEAKO, and now we're watching H3 react to his own younger self, who is much more controversial and not kind of like SNEAKO in a lot of ways, or just in terms of like not really caring what they
muted.
I
say.
can't fucking see the camera's covering.
Safe space for anyone.
Wait, let me go back.
And have confrontation.
Hey man, can y'all like lower the size of your podcast so I can see SNEAKO as well? I want to see his facial reactions. Come on now.
You sit there and get fatter every single week.
Safe.
Again, it's like the same thing. It's like fat man bad. It's incredible that that's pretty much their only criticism of me. Fat man bad.
Yeah.
He got fat. He hates
But
fat.
I think that's partially what like breaks a lot of their brains when it comes to me too, because it's like they're like, I can't say he's fat. So that's what
He's
they get,
fat.
that's what they get mad at. It's like, bro, that's not the main thing here. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just worry about that. You know?
Yeah. He's fat. It's crazy, bro. I just went to a random spot in this video and he's talking about how I'm fat.
Space, because I promise you, H3 is super.
I mean, my wife hasn't been bukkake in front of me, so I have that going for me.
That's well, I didn't even give you the full details. I think you.
Why are you holding out?
Well, I was because you pulled the video.
Okay, so let me just do this.
will never be a safe space for anyone.
What are you saying? I want to know.
I know.
What the fuck you're saying.
I gotta go back.
God damn it.
Okay,
Are
here.
just
Fucking
as
sneak
true for them to
Stop talking.
unsub, call us cucks, downvote the video. You're just for the record, you guys on the right are just as triggered now as the people on the left. Everybody's fucking triggered. And what I don't know
Wait,
what kind of
that's true.
are you looking for a safe space, guys? Are you guys all looking for
Yep. Bro, he just outlined his entire theme of the podcast. A safe space where you can't debate, where you can't have confrontation. You sit there and get fatter every single
How's this a safe space, bro? Weird. Okay,
The
but I'll
thing-
keep
Half
on.
the
the
podcast
problem
is us
like,
arguing.
The problem is like they say this all the time. Like, dude, debates are pseudo intellectual sparring. It's you know wrestling for weirdos who think like it's the primary form of show.
I think debates are very important. Obviously, like a podcast is not going to be entertaining if all you guys do is, you know, debating. You want to have a lot of agreement as well. So it's important to pick the right people who, you know, aren't just on there to argue, because you want to have a good time as well. But definitely, like, if you're just spreading one message and only having people on the podcast who agree with you, that's kind of a problem.
Showcasing your intellect or testing your metal.
Right. That's kind of like propaganda to your viewers.
The testing the metal of your ideology or your beliefs in the marketplace of ideas. Like, no, it's just content, and it is just content, especially for a lot of these people who do end up debating one another and then become friends with one another. It's like, I think that's fucking gross. If you hate someone, what the fuck? If you hate their worldview, how the fuck are you gonna sit there and be homies with them? You know what I mean? Especially if they're like a Nazi or some shit. So
Yeah, I mean, debating's more a test of your like verbal skills than a test
100%.
because it's all about like, got you with this and what do you say? It's like, it's not really.
And I do it all the time, and I do it all the time. I don't like doing it. I think it's silly, and I think that the environment that it fosters is really toxic and not good for learning, not good for making better arguments, ironically, like educating people about your worldview.
But all that being true, I've had debates on this, so I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, let's get to the point.
Safe space, because I promise you H3 Productions will never be a safe space for anyone.
What?
For safe space, because I promise you H3 Productions will never be a safe space for anyone.
He's loving this, by the way. We're giving him so much. We're giving him so much.
SNEAKO yells
attention.
so
It's
much.
fine, I don't care.
And cut through the bullshit and cut through political affiliation, because we'll speak our mind and cut through the bullshit and cut through political affiliation.
Why are people saying Jew?
They're saying that in the
his
chat.
Do you not see it?
Yep.
That's there you go, buddy. People that like
Jews.
people that do this kind of content and see like violent anti-Semitism, and they don't like do anything to
I don't know what the
curtail
moderation
that.
tools are on YouTube. To be fair, I don't know how easy it is to moderate YouTube, but
The same. You just say you could. Yeah, no. But these are your fans, bro. Does that not disturb you? But anyway.
Cut through political affiliation? Speak your
All right,
mind?
W Crusaders. What the fuck? Why are they saying W Crusaders?
My point of showing this off is that this guy used to be a Bernie Sanders fan, and he's acting like a video from 7 years ago in my like enlightened centrist phase.
But you aren't even
proves
saying
that
anything wrong. You're talking about how right wingers are also constantly looking for a safe space. No.
no, I was, but he's also.
But
I've
that's
never
true.
claimed that this podcast is a safe space, but I think his point is, look how he's
You
changed.
just did
as
in
a
the video,
hypocrite.
my guy.
But this man changed in a different direction from being a Bernie Sanders supporter to being like whatever the fuck this is now, to his girlfriend getting bukkakied. That's not a political affiliation.
Maybe he was
I just
talking
wanna
about his
remind him
main
that
channel or
happened.
something.
Not there's anything wrong with it if you're into it, but clearly it broke.
It sounds like he's not.
It broke him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it broke.
He was conflicted about it, but it's like weird because I've said this before. I don't have an issue with this. I don't have an issue with repeating this, but like SNEAKO is unlike many of the other Manosphere guys, like especially because he had like a shred of creativity in the beginning.
Right.
He's a creative dude. He's also an attractive dude.
He is a creative dude, and he's a good-looking dude too. I'm not trying to say it in like a sus way, but you gotta recognize people, just like Hasanabi just did. But SNEAKO is very creative. He used to be Mr. Beast's editor for his videos too, so it tells you a lot about him. He's smart.
People
He
will
knows how
not
to
agree with me on this,
get
but like
things.
I think he's like
Get things
he's a
done.
good-looking guy. He could have just as well, if he had like a better personality, if he didn't like go down this like weird radicalization path, like he could have been like a normal content creator. He could have gotten the bag with the Mr. Beast stuff instead
Bro,
of
you
trying
don't
to
go
expose
big if
Mr.
you're normal.
Beast. You know what I mean?
SNEAKO could have not gone this big.
Like there
if he
were a
was normal.
couple different turning points in his career. It seems like after watching that Patrick CC video, like there were a couple different turning points in his career that basically got him to this point. You can still change your path, my friend. But I see-
changing, in his opinion, is change
Taking the blue pill,
equals
right?
hypocrisy, which is weird. I always say that conservatives they don't believe in change, which is a weird thing. I mean, normal human beings.
No,
are
they
supposed
love
to
it.
change
They love it.
their-
They love it when Dave Rubin changed his politics. They love it when SNEAKO changed his politics. You know
Anyway, I
what
want
mean?
to show this thumbnail. Look at this. Before and after. Yes. A glowing legend. And now a fucking demon zombie. And SNEAKO, of course, glowing angelically, just like his
Foul.
girlfriend's face after getting 5 bukkakis on it. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro.
So here's the thing.
Bro,
here's
that's
the
a
thing.
traumatic event that happened in SNEAKO's life. How are you gonna bring up something so personal like that? I know he shared it with the internet, but that's a low blow, man. Come on.
With,
I'm
with
just
respect
saying.
to that.
You
So
give him
he,
claps, too?
he had like a relatively open relationship. It seems like from his he mentioned it he had an open relationship, kind of. They went to
Even if
orgies
it's
together. She
open
wanted to
from
go to
4
orgies.
guys.
And like
He pushed for it.
he makes it seem like she pushed for it, but I think he probably was into it, and I think he still is into it because like they went to 2 orgies in one night.
Oh,
Like, how
that's
the fuck,
disgusting. I'm
How
sorry.
the fuck do you know?
There's
Like, how do you know 2 different orgies
bro,
happening?
I'm sorry, but
They're on the mailing list.
look, there's nothing wrong with going to orgies and free sex and all that and having fun if that's your cup of tea. Great. 2 orgies in one night, that's it. I got to draw the line. That's too much.
Too many orgies,
That's
man.
too much, bro.
Too many.
That's too much, dude. You gotta chill. So keep going.
So-
Tell me more.
Yeah, that's what he said. So, you know, he said basically that watching his girlfriend get fucked by another dude was similar to like getting robbed. Like he felt like that was a similar experience to him.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also went to like multiple orgies after that.
Probably, right?
Yeah, they stayed there. They kept doing it, you know, and then they went to another orgy. They went to 2 orgies in one night or whatever, and he made it seem like that was like a defining moment for him, and that really changed his perspective, which is weird because like you could have been like, I didn't like this experience. I don't want to do this anymore, and then been a healthy person, or you could have been like, I like this experience, and you know, I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I'm going to continue doing it and be a healthy person. It's just a matter of like confidence versus insecurity, and then the way you carry yourself through these sorts of interactions. And I think that's the defining strategy of.
Wait, well, hold on.
That's the defining strategy of like a lot of the Manosphere content creators is that they just basically use their insecurity as a selling point to attract a gigantic audience of
Right.
also very insecure, if not more insecure men.
They don't see that about themselves.
Yeah. It's very weird. They think that like
But it's so obvious.
the fake it till you make it, over the top confidence that they present themselves, or over the top masculinity that they present is like an adequate way to overcome the insecure allegations, which you're not beating those, I think.
And yeah, I mean, Andrew Tate, if you look up to this guy, and I know SNEAKO does because I watched this video about him, he is a deeply, deeply unsolvably insecure man. I mean, clearly, just damaged man.
I don't really think so,
from the
man.
bottom of his
I'm
soul.
not,
But you say he
Andrew Tate
saw
fan or
someone have
anything,
sex
but-
with his girlfriend. Did he, in fact, was there a bukkake on her face?
He said there were 4 dicks,
4 dicks.
all pointed at her girlfriend's face, at his girlfriend's
Oh,
face.
that's okay. But so that's a lot to take in if that's not something that you're ready for.
Yeah,
I think it broke him.
but
Oh,
I
I'm
think
sorry,
he literally,
bro.
but I think he did end up like it could have been so wonderful. Like he could have just literally been like, there are 2 ways out of this. Could have been like, I didn't like it. I realize it's not for me, and
Right.
I want to maintain like a monogamous relationship. Don't even know if it's possible after that to continue being in a monogamous relationship with that same person. Maybe it is. I don't know. Or you could have just been like, this is something that I'm into. I like it. And just been normal about it. You know what I mean? And promoted it and been like, it's not for everybody. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't personally care. I get to fuck all these other girls. Like, you know what I mean? I'm into it. I like it.
It sounds.
All right. Well, that's that video. Hasanabi and H3 or Ethan kind of reacting to SNEAKO's reactions on H3. Let me know what you guys think. If you if you agree with anything that Hasanabi and H3 are saying, or if you're more on SNEAKO's side, I'm curious to hear it. Thank you and have a fantastic day.